Hello, race fans, and on behalf of POWRi Quarter Midget Racing League and the entire officiating crew here at the beautiful Phoenix Raceway, a huge thank you for joining us, whether it's right here at the track or watching at home on the POWRi YouTube channel for the inaugural Cactus Cup Nationals. Over 56 competitors checking into the pits for this weekend of racing with several heats and feature events on the docket to be contested for. But before we get these cars out on the track, race fans, I'd like you to please rise, remove cover, notice the flag in the infield for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, race fans. Outstanding representation out there by Andrew and Talon, carrying the flags from the United States of America as well as Arizona. And with that, race fans, there's only one thing left to do. Let's go quarter midget racing right here at Phoenix Raceway. Up first, going to be heat race number 1 for the Red Novice. Red Novice heat race number 1. 10 laps the distance. Again, 10 laps the distance here for Red Novice heat race number 1. And on the pole out of Arizona, it's going to be a Sofia Esquivel. On the road, starting number 2 out of California, Jackson O'Brien. In the 3 car out of Arizona, Millie DeVault. In car number 4 out of Arizona, Logan Kleinman. Car number 5 out of California, Easton Wright. Car number 6 out of Arizona, Mackenzie Parker. And in car number 7 out of California, it's Logan Finn. So 10 laps the distance here in Red Novice heat race number 1. Checking over with Bill, our flagman. Across the way, he's going to give me the nod, and we'll be ready to go here in Red Novice heat race number 1. Scoring up here in the tower. We have our lap counters, our judges, our officiating in the corners. And for this heat race, we do have our honorary flagman, our grand marshal for the event, Corbin Ruschenberg. Corbin Ruschenberg, graduating from the quarter midget ranks, finishing 2nd in the now 600 micro series in the winged A class. A bright future for the honorary flagman, Mr. Corbin Ruschenberg, as Red Novice heat race number 1 rolling out onto the race surface. Push, push, let's go racing. Red Novice heat race number 1. 10 laps the distance. Sophia, Jackson, Millie, Logan, Easton, Mackenzie, and another Logan. So Logan Kleinman and Logan Finn, both here in Red Novice heat race number 1. Getting everybody lined up where they need to be. Makes it pretty easy on an announcer up here. They give them the numbers as they come onto the track, so lineup sets their numbers. Trying to get that car number 1 up to the front. And Sophia Bell. Car number 2, Jackson O'Brien out of California. Millie DeVault in car number 3. Nice Jurassic Park look. Logan Kleinman in car number 4. Easton Wright in car number 5. Mackenzie Parker stalling out here on the front straightaway out of Arizona in car number 6. Logan Finn out of California in that car number 7. As we're looking for the green flag here in Red Novice Heat Race number 1, 10 laps the distance. A little bit more about these cars. If I can find my notes. This is the first class out of training with the smallest restrictor plate, usually noted for drivers ages 5 to 8. Still waving the yellow out here in heat race number 1 for the Red Novice, trying to get everybody into position. That car number 2 of Jackson needs to get up into that spot. Millie DeVault back there to 3rd. And with that, race fans, we're going to let the sounds and sights of Phoenix Raceway take hold as I'm going to step away from the mic and let Red Novice Heat Race number 1 take place. Test, test, test. Back out onto the track, that car number 6, making the repairs. Mackenzie Parker pulling it back out onto the racing surface. As judging looking over the lineup as it sits right now, your leader, car number 1. And in comes car number 4 of Logan Kleinman. The 3 of Millie DeVault. The 5, Easton Wright. Car number 7, Logan Finn. The 2 of Jackson O'Brien. And then that car number 6, Mackenzie Parker, rounding out the field. Green flag waves once again. Red Novice Heat Race underway. Laps ticking away. Sophia Esquivel out front, wasting no time to get around the track here at Phoenix Raceway. And going to be picking up the Heat Race win. Car number 1 out of Arizona. Sophia grabbing the Heat Race hardware. Heat race number 1 in the books for the Red Novice. Going to heat race winner, car number 1, Sophia Esquivel. Blue Novice, heat race number 2. Set to take to the track next. In car number 1, out of California, Byron Bourneman. Say that last name for me one more time. In car number 2, out of Arizona, Brady Prenovo. Car number 3, out of California, Brandon Glick. And in car number 4, out of California, Jamison Linden. Leiden, my bad.
Okay, thanks.
Looking across the way to Bill, making sure we're ready to go, checking with scoring, checking with judging, and our lap counters, making sure we're ready to go. Blue Novice heat race, rolling out onto the racetrack.
Huh? No, you were just saying who the next ones are, right?
Yeah, I was just saying what the next race was.
Here's the finish. We have to announce it because they have 1 hour to protest. So the time we know.
Finishes from the Red Novice heat race. Went to car number 1, Sophia Esquivel. Finishing second, car number 3, Millie DeVault. Third was the 6 of Mackenzie Parker. Fourth was the 7 of Logan Finn. Fifth was the 2, Jackson O'Brien. Sixth was the 4 of Logan Kleinman. And 7th was the 5 of Easton Wright.
Good job, Foreman.
Okay. We'll take it under advice. Please don't. It's terrible.
I got 5 more rookies ready to go. Tell me when to push.
A little bit more about this Blue Novice class. This is a second class with a little bit bigger of a restrictor plate. So very similar to the Red Novice class, just with a little bit bigger restrictor plate. Blue Novice Heat Race 1 rolling out onto the racetrack. Again, car number 1, Byron Bourneman. Car number 2, Brady Prenovo. The 3, Brandon Glick. And the 4, Jamison Leiden. Again, 10 laps the distance. 10 laps the distance here in the heat race for the Blue Novice. 4 competitors looking for 10 laps. Telling that car number 4 of Jamison to get up to the starting area. as these cars will go side by side. A double file start here for the Blue Novice Heat Race. Byron Borman, Brady Prenovo in the front row. Brandon Glick, Jamison Leiden in that second row. 10 laps the distance. Looking for the green out of turn number 4, I believe. Looking over at Bill. Telling them one more time around, then we'll go green. Green flag waves. We are racing in the Blue Novice Heat Race. Brady Prenovo out to the early advantage. Byron Mormon back to second. Brandon Glick running third. Rounding out the field, Jamison Leiden. As Prenovo clicking the laps off in a hurry here in Blue Novice Heat Race number 1. Taking a wide exit out of the corners. A nice sweep around turns number 3 and 4 and into 1 and 2. Byron Borman trying to run him down with the laps taken away. Borman running a little bit tighter lines in the corners. As the white flag comes out, Brady Prenovo showing the way, claiming the checkers. Heat race winner for the Blue Novice, Brady Prenovo out of Arizona. Second place going to California native Byron Borman. Brandon Glick, Jamison Leiden. I will await for official finish results momentarily, as I'm getting confirmation that is the official result. Up next will be heat race number 3 with the Junior Animal. Junior Animal heat race number 3. I understand all heat races from this point forward will be 20 laps the distance in the remaining heat races. Heat race number 3 with the Junior Animals will include, out of Indiana, probably had the longest haul to get here. It's car number 1 of Hudson Andrews. In car number 2, out of Arizona, Dominic Smith. Hudson Andrews, Dominic Smith in the Junior Animal. Third heat race of the day here at beautiful Phoenix Raceway. And you couldn't ask for better weather. Checking on the social medias of all my friends and family back home, and they're snowed in, getting the blizzard. I'm enjoying the sun, and with a little bit of the break in the action, our Grand Marshal has made an appearance up here at the tower in the scoring table. Corbin Ruschenberg in the house. How does it feel to come home to the quarter midget where you kind of cut your teeth behind the wheel?
Feels great. It's bringing back some great memories here with a lot of fun racing here. Super excited for the rest of the day with our heat races. It's really been some good racing I'm looking forward to on.
Are you getting a little excited, getting a little anxious? You want to be back behind? Are you missing it a little bit?
A little. But I still love my micros.
And speaking of the micro, you had an outstanding season last year running the Now 600. Second place in one of the points, third place in another points. I want to say, about 7 to 10 wins. It's hard to keep track of how many wins you had throughout the year. What does the future look like for you?
This season we're going to be on the full POWRi schedule with their Turnpike Challenge and maybe test the midget with their POWRi also, but just chasing the big money races and moving on forward there.
So you heard it here first. Corbin Ruschenberg chasing the money in 2022. I expect we'll be seeing you down at the Turnpike here in about a month in Oklahoma in March.
Yes.
All right, sounds good. I'll be catching up with Corbin here in a little bit. We'll talk a little more as the weekend progresses. But up next, looking for Junior Animal Heat Race number 3. Push, push, let's go racing. So it's car number 1 out of Indiana, Hudson Andrews. Car number 2 out of Arizona, Dominic Smith in the junior animal heat race. 20 laps the distance. A little bit of problems there for Dominic Smith as we're able to get that car fired. And we should be getting ready to go. Green flag racing here in junior animal heat race. 20 laps the distance, 2 competitors. It is Hudson Andrews in car number 1. Dominic Smith in car number 2. So a little bit of Indiana versus Arizona out here. Trying to get that car number 2, Dominic Smith, up to the high side of car number 1, Hudson Andrews. Getting this junior animal heat race underway. Off track goes Dominic Smith. Problem, something to miss with that car over at turn number 4. Dominic Smith out of Arizona pulling off the racetrack. Hudson Andrews wasting no time, ticking away the laps. Sweeping wide into the corner, right in the middle, cutting it close, letting it drift out on the exits. Trying to hit his mark lap after lap out of Indiana. Car number 1, Hudson Andrews on a rail here at Phoenix Raceway. CSI shocks on the side. Z-Max Race Products. And driving with precision. Seeing if he's hitting the exact same tire marks as the lap before. Hudson Andrews, a blistering pace here in the junior animal heat race. 20 laps the distance. I believe he's well over halfway. Wasting no time. 5 to go, that time by for Hudson Andrews out of Indiana in car number 1. A little bit of a bobble there coming off turn number 3 and 4. White flag comes out one more time around into 3 out of 4. Heat race winner for the junior animal out of Indiana, car number 1, Hudson Andrews. Hudson Andrews picking up the heat race win. Dominic Smith in car number 2. As up next will be heat race number 4 for the senior animal. Senior animal up next. A little bit more about the junior and senior animal. Junior animal, Briggs & Stratton Animal Engines. Drivers are 5 to 8 years old. Senior animal is the same Briggs & Stratton Animal Engine with the drivers 9 to 17 years old. We do have one more class of heavy animal. That is the Briggs & Stratton Animal Engine with drivers 9 to 17 years old, over 100 pounds. So 3 different classes of animal racing engines out here, junior, senior, and heavy animals. Just got done with the junior animals, drivers 5 to 8 years old, looking for the senior animal, drivers 9 to 17. 4 drivers, 20 laps the distance. And on the pole out of Washington, car number 1, Jackson Burnett. Car number 2 out of Colorado, TJ Stark. Car number 3 out of California, Eli Black. And in car number 4, also out of California, Bristol Borman. As push, getting ready to go racing here. Senior animal heat race number 4 on the day. Getting all 4 of these drivers lined up. Looking for Jackson Burnett, TJ Stark, Eli Black, and Bristol Borman. Here in the senior animal heat race number 4. A pair of California drivers, Colorado and Washington, represented. As we are still under yellow flag conditions, getting everybody lined up, trying to anyway. Drivers anxious and eager to go racing out here in senior animal heat race. 20 laps the distance. Bill over there telling them, calm down a little bit. 1 to go this time. You're going to get the green out of 4. Burnett, Stark, your front row. Nope. Bill just shaking his head. One to go this time. Washington, Colorado, your front row. A pair of California drivers back behind them, looking for the green, and again, shaking the head. Didn't like it. A lot better this time, side by side at the stripe. Stark on the outside, gonna lead lap number 1. It's gonna go to Colorado driver TJ Stark in car number 2. Back to second goes the Washington native Jackson Burnett in car number 1. Riding in third, Eli Black out of California. Fourth is Bristol Borman, also out of California. Everybody chasing that car. Number 2, TJ Stark. Stark pulling that left front wheel a little bit in the air as he's going through the corner, has this thing on a rail, separating himself by about a straightaway from the second place contender. That's Jackson Burnett in car number 1. A little bit of a battle shaping up for third and fourth as car number 4, Bristol Bowman, going to go to the inside, take the position away from the 3 of Eli Black. Black back to fourth, maybe in harm's way of lap traffic as TJ Stark on a mission here in heat race for the senior animal, laps ticking away. And it's still TJ Stark showing the way out front, right behind car number 3, Eli Black. Back to second, finds car number 1 out of Washington, Jackson Burnett, followed by the 4 of Bristol Borman and the 3 of Eli Black. As car number 2, TJ Stark, able to get around the lap car. Stark on a mission out of Colorado. 2 more times around with our leader. Car number 2, TJ Stark, white flag, waves 1 more time around. Setting sail into 3 out of 4. Heat race winner for the senior animal class. It's TJ Stark out of Colorado. Second place belongs to car number 1, Jackson Burnett. Third, I believe, will be the 4 of Bristol Borman, Eli Black, rounding out the field. But how about a round of applause? Heat race winner for the senior animal out of Colorado, TJ Stark. Official results is the way they finished. TJ Stark, Jackson Burnett, Bristol Borman, Eli Black, your field. Borneman, I stand corrected, my bad. Up next, going to be the heavy animal heat race. Heat race number 5 on the day. Heavy animal, looking for 2 drivers out here. Car number 1, Evan McFarland out of California. And car number 2, also out of California, Kylie Glick. Looking around the racetrack, everybody giving the thumbs up. Looking for heavy animal heat race. 2 drivers, 20 laps the distance. Car number 2, Kylie Glick out of California onto the racetrack. Push, push. Car number 1, Evan McFarland, also out of California, out onto the racetrack. 2 drivers, 20 laps the distance. This one should be fun. So it's going to be McFarland on the inside, Glick on the high side. Getting the 1-to-go signal this time by from our air traffic controller, Bill, over there in the flag stand. Green flag waves, we're racing. Heavy animal, 20 laps the distance. McFarland in the 1, Glick in the 2. Lap number 1 will be led by Evan McFarland, Kylie Glick not far behind as we go down the front straightaway into turns number 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. McFarland holding tight on that sweeping inside the outline. Kylie Glick looking for any position to strike. 20 laps the distance, so a little bit of time, but you can't waste very much time trying to come to the front, as it looked like Evan McFarland, a little bit of problems off turn number 4. He gathers it up. No problems for him as he stays out front. Evan McFarland showing the way. Kylie Glick keeping pace. Laps ticking away here in the heavy animal heat race number 5 of the day for the POWRi Quarter Midget Nationals here at the Cactus Cup at Phoenix Raceway. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in here on our YouTube page. A way to give back to you, the race fans. Free racing here at Phoenix Raceway. Oh, problems in turn number 1 and 2. Kylie Glick going around in turn number 2. Caution flag coming out onto the racetrack. Kylie Glick able to get that car refired. Kind of keeping my eye on that car number 1 of Evan McFarland here under caution. Getting the 1 to go signal this time by. Green flag coming off turn number 4. McFarland, Glick on the gas. Glick not going away this time. Showing the nose. Close quarter racing as we go into turns number 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway. Glick going to look to the inside. Not quite there. Exit of 2. Now she is there. Great move into turns number 3 and 4. But McFarland back to the inside. Pushing it to the high side. McFarland has the position back. Let's see if Glick can do that maneuver one more time. McFarland knows they're there as the white flag comes out. One more time around. Into 3. Last ditch effort. Not quite enough. Heat race winner going to car number 1, Evan McFarland. Kylie Glick, outstanding race out there. Good maneuver on both sides of the track for the heavy animal heat race. Going to car number 1, Evan McFarland. Car number 2, Kylie Glick in second. Up next, I believe, heat race number 6 on the day, the Junior Honda class. Junior Honda class. 7 cars, 20 laps the distance. The Junior Honda class is 5 to 8 years old. Honda 120 engine with a restrictor plate. So drivers 5 to 8 years old driving a Honda 120 engine with a restrictor plate on it here in the Junior Honda class. Looks like 7 drivers, 20 laps the distance. Out of California, car number 1, Dayton DeCarlo. Out of Indiana, car number 2, Hudson Andrews. Car number 3, out of California, Lucas Finn. Car number 4, out of Arizona, Dominic Smith. Car number 5, also out of Arizona, Colton Kleinman. Car number 6, California native, David Anderson. And car number 7, out of California, Tristan Garcia. 7 cars, 20 laps the distance here in Junior Honda heat race. Again, drivers 5 to 8 years old, Honda 120 engines with a restrictor plate. It looks like we're pushing, and we're getting ready to go Junior Honda racing here in heat race number 6. Dayton DeCarlo, car number 1, Hudson Andrews, car number 2, Lucas Finn in the 3, Dominic Smith in the 4, Colton Kleinman in the 5, David Anderson in the 6. and Tristan Garcia in car number 7. Everybody getting into their positions out there on the racetrack, as Tristan Garcia can be starting all by themselves in that 4th and final row, as we got them side by side. Dayton DiCarlo, Hudson Andrews in the front, Lucas Finn, Dominic Smith, Colton Kleinman, David Anderson, and Tristan Garcia. Looks like we're getting the 1 to go signal this time by from Bill, the flagman. Trying to get everybody side by side on this start. Not quite the way he wanted it, so we're trying to get everybody into position. Trying to get that car number 4, Dominic Smith, up to the side of car number 3, Lucas Finn. Not quite the start they wanted. Trying to get them side by side before we throw the green flag. So having a little bit of trouble getting this junior Honda heat race underway. Dayton DiCarlo on the pole, Hudson Andrew outside row number 1. Row number 2, Lucas Finn, Dominic Smith, Colt Kleinman, David Anderson, Tristan Garcia, your field. Green flag waves. We are underway in the junior Honda class. Car number 1, Dayton DiCarlo out to the early advantage. Hudson Andrews not going away. Andrews going to look to the inside as we enter into turns number 3 and 4, taking the position away. New leader this time by car number 2 out of Indiana, Hudson Andrews taking the lead. Car number 1, Dayton DiCarlo back to second. Up to third and around it goes. is car number 5, Colton Kleinman. Caution flag coming out onto the racetrack. Drivers getting the one to go signal this time by. Nope, not quite. Got to get them bunched back together. Bill, not quite happy with them. It's Hudson Andrews, your leader. Dayton DiCarlo, Lucas Finn, David Anderson, Tristan Garcia, Dominic Smith, and Colton Kleinman rounding out the field. So I understand car number 7, car number 6 need to swap positions. Tristan Garcia going in front of David Anderson. Lineup is now confirmed as we got to get them bunched back together. Bill going to be giving them the one to go signal here momentarily, as we're looking over the field, making sure everybody's exactly where they need to be. It's car number 2, Hudson Andrews, the 1 of Dayton DiCarlo, 3 of Lucas Finn, the 7, Tristan Garcia coming to the front in a hurry, already up to 4th. Car number 6, David Anderson. Green flag waves, we're back underway. Look at the move by Lucas Finn on the start, up to 2nd now. Car number 3, the man on the move, but way out front. Car number 2, Hudson Andrews out of Indiana. Probably had the longest trip to get here, saying, I'm going to make it worth my money. I want to pick up 2 heat race wins in a row, as he already claimed 1 earlier in the day in the junior Animal. Now trying to do it again in the junior Honda. It's car number 2, Hudson Andrews, your leader, going to be dealing with lap traffic here momentarily. Up to 2nd, car number 3 of Lucas Finn as car number 1, Dayton DiCarlo. Kind of fading a little bit. The 6, David Anderson, and the 7 of Tristan Garcia now moving into the top 5. Also throw in car number 5 of Colton Klingman into the top 5. Everybody still chasing a very fast car number 2. Hudson Andrews wasting no time with lap traffic. Laps ticking away. Our leader, CSI on the side. Car number 2, Hudson Andrews way out front. Lucas Finn in car number 3, sitting 2nd, as he's got a lot of real estate to make up if he wants to have a battle for the lead out in a different zip code. Our leader, Hudson Andrews, may be trying to lap the field. 3 cars in 1 corner for Andrews as he went into turns number 1 and 2. Now down the backstretch with our leader, the 2, Hudson Andrews. Laps ticking away in a hurry. 2 more times around with our leader, Hudson Andrews out of Indiana. White flag waves. It's 1 more time around through 1 and 2. Down the back chute into 3. Out of 4. Heat race winner. It's car number 2, Hudson Andrews. Wait for official scoring to get the results of this one, because it went by in a hurry with our winner, car number 2 out of Indiana, Hudson Andrews. Up next will be a 20-lap senior Honda heat race. But before we get to that, get our official results from the junior Honda. So it was car number 2, Hudson Andrews, your winner. Second place went to car number 3 of Lucas Finn. Third place, car number 6 of David Anderson. Fourth place to car number 7, Tristan Garcia. Fifth place went to car number 5 of Colton Kleinman. Sixth place to the 1 of Dayton DeCarlo. And seventh place going to car number 4 of Dominic Smith. And the top 3 drivers finished on the lead lap. First 6 heat races are done for the day. Heat race number 7. Getting ready to come out onto the racetrack, our senior Honda class. Senior Honda heat race to tackle the track next. It's going to have out of California, car number 1, Eli Black. Out of Arizona, car number 2, Andrew Kleinman. Out of Arizona, car number 3, Adrian Imperial. In car number 4, out of Washington, Jackson Burnett. In car number 5, out of Arizona, Talon Morris. In car number 6, out of California, Bristol Borneman. And in car number 7, out of California, Bailey Leiden. 7 drivers, 20 laps the distance here in the senior Honda class. A little bit more about the senior Honda class. It is, again, the Honda 120 engine. There is no restrictor plate, and these are drivers 9 years to 17 years of age. Drivers 9 to 17 years old driving the Honda 120 engine with no restrictor plate. And again, the 1, Eli Black. 2, Andrew Kleinman. 3, Adrian Imperial. 4, Jackson Burnett. 5, Talon Morris. 6, Bristol Borneman. And 7, Bailey Leiden. Bill over there in the flag stand working diligently to get these drivers lined up. Everybody exactly where they need to go here in senior Honda heat race. 20 laps the distance. On to go signal this time by keeping them side by side on the gas pedal on the exit of 4. Green flag waves underway for the senior Honda. Early leader Adrian Imperial. Imperial, your leader. Here comes Talon Morris. Started 5th up to 2nd in less than a lap. So it's Imperial, Morris. The 1 of Eli Black sitting 4th, has company with Jackson Burnett hot on the heel. Up the 5th comes the 2, Andrew Kleinman. Drivers starting to separate out on the racing surface. 2-car battle up front, 3-car battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And a 2-car battle for 6th and 7th. Our leader, the 3, Adrian Imperial. The 5, Talon Morris, right there in hot pursuit going into turns number 3 and 4. Morris thought about looking to the inside, not quite there. Will we have lap traffic come into play? Leaders now right on the back bumpers of the back markers. It is Adriel Imperial leading the race. Talon Morris looking for some real estate. Thought about taking it high. Now he has a lap traffic marker right in between them as he takes it to the low line. No problem for the top 2 drivers. Adriel Imperial setting the pace. Talon Morris trying to keep pace. The 4, Jackson Burnett, as a couple cars get together here on the exit of turns number 1 and 2 right in front of our leader. As the 3, Adriel Imperial down to the inside. Able to get around all the lap cars that were in front of them. So clear real estate for our leader, Adriel Imperial. 1 car to get around for that car number 5 of Talon Morris, who's sitting second. I believe the 4 of Jackson Burnett is running third. I'm not quite sure. As cars getting together on the exit of turn number 2. Caution flag coming out. Talon Morris facing the wrong way in a one-way. Also coming to a stop is car number 2 of Andrew Kleinman. Our camera guy getting an up close and personal look at these quarter midgets coming off turn number 2. They look really good. He says they look quick. Had a front row view coming into the camera on that one. It's the 3, Adrian Imperial out front. The 4, Jackson Burnett. Car number 1, Eli Black now running third. The 6, Bristol Borneman. The 7, Bailey Leiden. 5, Talon Morris. The 2, Andrew Kleinman. So it is car number 3, Adrian Imperial. The 1 of Eli Black. The 6, Bristol Borneman. Car number 7, Bailey Leiden. The 4, Jackson Burnett. The 2 of Andrew Kleinman. And the 5 of Talon Morris rounding out the field. Drivers getting the 1 to go signal that time. By from Bill up in the flag stand, looking for green flag right on the exit of turn number 4. Another great start by car number 3, Adrian Imperial. Imperial out to the advantage as we go into turns number 3 and 4. White flag waves one more time around in the senior Honda heat race through 3 off of 4. Heat race winner car number 3, Adrian Imperial. Car number 3, Adrian Imperial, picking up the senior Honda heat race victory, and I will wait for the official scoring to give you the results from the rest of that one. And up next, race fans, will be the 8th heat race of the day, Heavy Honda heat race up next. Looks like 3 competitors in that one. Out of California, car number 1, Kylie Glick. In car number 2, out of California, Marcus Leonetti. And in car number 3, out of Arizona, Sloan Lowther. Lowther? Lowther. Heat race number 7 from the senior Hondas. Our winner, car number 3, Adrian Imperial. Second place went to car number 5, Talon Morris. Third place went to car number 4 of Jackson Burnett. Fourth place belonged to car number 1 of Eli Black. Fifth place to car number 6 of Bristol Borneman. Sixth place to car number 7 of Bailey Leiden. And in 7th, car number 2 of Andrew Kleinman. That was the results for the senior Honda heat race. And out onto the racetrack, I understand we do have one scratch, the 3 of Sloan Lowther. So we'll have car number 1 of Kylie Glick out of California, and also out of California, car number 2 of Marcus Leonetti. Marcus Leonetti, Kylie Glick, here in the Heavy Honda heat race. 8th heat race of the day. A little bit more information about these heavy Hondas. These are 9 to 17 years old and drivers over 100 pounds racing the Honda 120 engine with no restrictor plate. Side by side is how we'll take them. Through 3 and out of 4. Still under yellow flag conditions as we have a few cars over there in the staging area waiting for them to kind of get off the danger area, if you will. As we got them lined up side by side, Flagman Bill stretching in the flag stand, giving them the one to go signal this time by. Side by side, Kylie Glick in the 1, Marcus Leonetti in the 2. Looking for the green exit of 4, it's waving, we're racing. Great start by Kylie Glick. Glick out front, Leonetti sitting second. Two very different, distinct driving styles out here. Kylie Glick almost setting straight up, where you see Marcus Leonetti a lean to it. See if that comes in play as Leonetti cutting the corner ever so slightly, trying to get this a little bit of advantage, and he is there trying to run down Kylie Glick. Glick not giving up the line though, holding steady right in position. Has the lead in car number 1. Leonetti laying in wait, trying to look for any type of opening, and he may have found it. Driving up to the inside, left front wheel in the air. New leader this time by out of California. It's car number 2, Marcus Leonetti. Leonetti with the lead. Glick back to second. Laps ticking away. It's still Marcus Leonetti with the lead. Kylie Glick running second. A couple of California drivers out here in the heavy Honda class, our 8th heat race of the day here at beautiful Phoenix Raceway for the POWRi National Quarter Midget Cactus Cup. A rock steady pace. Driver has the lean to it. Marcus Leonetti out front, almost a half a lap lead for that car number 2. Marcus Leonetti, your leader. Kylie Glick running in second as the white flag is waving. Half a lap to go. Seeing the checkered flag first here in the heavy Honda class. It's car number 2 out of California, Marcus Leonetti. Finishing second, also out of California, car number 1 of Kylie Glick. Up next, race fans, heat race number 9 for the day, our Junior 160 heat race. Junior 160 heat race coming up next. On the pole in car number 1 out of California is going to be David Anderson. And car number 2 out of Indiana, Hudson Andrews. A little bit more information about the Junior 160 class. Junior 160s are a Honda 160 motor with a restrictor plate. Drivers ages 5 to 8. So drivers ages 5 to 8 racing a Honda 160 motor with a restrictor plate. Looking for the 1, David Anderson, and the 2 of Hudson Andrews. Hudson Andrews trying to pull the trifecta, already going 2 for 2 on heat race wins. Can he go 3 for 3 here in the Junior 160? Starting second, Hudson Andrews out of Indiana. As we are pushing Junior 160 heat race. "20 laps the distance here in the Junior 160 heat race. Two competitors, David Anderson in the 1 out of California, Hudson Andrews in the 2 out of Indiana. Getting them side by side. Everybody looking them over, making sure where they need to be, what they need to be in. Giving the 1 to go signal this time by from the air traffic controller, Bill. Yeah, nope. Didn't think that one was going to work. We get to try it all over again, side by side. David Anderson on the inside. Hudson Andrews on the high side. Green is in the air. We're racing Junior 160s. Out to the early advantage. Hudson Andrews taking the lead over on lap number 1. David Anderson going to go back to the second position as taking it extremely wide on the exits. As around it goes, Hudson Andrews looping it in turn number 2. The 2 of Andrews able to get refired. We'll get them all racked and stacked and ready to go. Car number 1, David Anderson to the front. Hudson Andrews right there in second. 1 to go signal this time by. Green is waving. A great start by David Anderson, but down to the inside comes Hudson Andrews. Andrews looking on the inside, has the position, exit of turn number 4, back to the lead goes Hudson Andrews. He was trying to find a different line on the outside. He may go back to his inside line where he eases into the throttle. Hitting his marks this time through the corners. Easy on the gas on the exit. It's Hudson Andrews out front. David Anderson sitting second. Halfway through this one, Hudson Andrews, your leader, putting down a blistering pace. A little bit wide there for David Anderson on the exit of turn number 2. He gathers it up. As drivers getting a little squirrely on the exit of turn number 2, it appears. Oh, that one was close. Seems car number 1, David Anderson, a little bit of a push as around it goes on the exit of turn number 2. Caution flag coming out onto the racetrack. Back up a little bit. So it's Hudson Andrews out of Indiana, David Anderson out of California, Junior 160. Again, these are drivers ages 5 to 8, racing a Honda 160 engine with a restrictor plate. One to go signal that time. Looking for the green. Next set of 4. Back to racing here in the Junior 160 heat race. Hudson Andrews, your leader. David Anderson sitting second. Laps ticking away. Two more times around. Hudson Andrews out front. David Anderson trying to run him down. That's the white flag comes out one more time around. Through 3 out of 4. Heat race winner for the 3rd time today, Hudson Andrews. Finishing second, the 1 of David Anderson. Up next will be the Light 160 class. Light 160 heat race up next. A little bit more about the Light 160 class. That is the Honda 160 in combined weight and car of the driver. I believe the combined weight and car of the driver has to be below 100 pounds. Here in the Light 160 heat race, our 10th heat race of the day, will be car number 1, Bristol Borneman. Car number 2, Mia Bolanos. Car number 3, Bailey Leiden. And car number 4, Jackson Burnett. So 3 California drivers and a Washington driver in Jackson Burnett. So the Light 160 Honda 160 engine with a combined car and weight, driver weight of less than 100 pounds. And as this heat race comes out onto the racing surface, I'm going to take a little bit of break away from the microphone and let you sit back and enjoy the sights and sounds of beautiful Phoenix Raceway. me grab my thing here.
So it's 4, 3, 2, 1.
4, 3, 2, 1. So official results on the light 160 goes to car number 4, Jackson Burnett. Second to the 3, Bailey Leiden. Third to the 2 of Mia Blanas. And fourth to car number 1 of Bristol Borneman. Heavy 160 coming out onto the track next.
You'll hear about it later.
Bolanos, I'm sorry, Bolanos, my bad. I'll hear about it later. Up next, heavy 160, car number 1, Marcus Leonetti. 2, Sloan Lowther. 3, Adrian Imperial. 4, Kylie Glick. 5, Johnny Bolanos. Did I get it right that time? Okay, I'm getting thumbs up. That was better than what I just got. As we are pushing out onto the racetrack, heavy 160, our 11th heat race of the day, 20 laps the distance. I understand we will have one car that is a scratch, so we will have 4 cars. And it will be car number 2 of Sloan Lowther. Sloan Lowther unable to make the call, so 4 drivers making the call here in the heavy 160 class. A little bit more information about this heavy 160 class. They are the Honda 160 racing engine with no restrictor plate, and these are drivers with a combined weight of the car and the driver of over 100 pounds. So Marcus Leonetti, Adrian Imperial, Kylie Glick, Johnny Bolanos. 1 to go, this time by Leonetti, Imperial, Glick, Bolanos. Green flag waves. Great start by Marcus Leonetti. Leonetti out to the early advantage. And Kylie Glick right in the mix. Adrian Imperial. Here comes Bolanos. Johnny Bolanos coming to the front up to the number 3 spot. A couple of cars in front of him with Marcus Leonetti showing the way. Adrian Imperial sitting second. Johnny Bolanos running third, and around goes car number 4, Kylie Glick. Glick around on the exit of turn number 2. So with about 17 laps to go, Marcus Leonetti showing the way. 1 to go this time before they come off turn number 4 and go fast. Adrian Imperial right there in second. Look at the start by Johnny Bolanos. Bolanos looking to the inside. As a little crossover there by Adrian Imperial. Imperial holding the position. Kylie Glick able to get around Bolanos. Bolanos moving back to 4th. Everybody still chasing Marcus Leonetti. Leonetti, your leader. Imperial sitting second. Glick running 3rd. Bolanos rounding out the top 4. Laps starting to tick away. Everybody still chasing Marcus Leonetti. Leonetti trying to also go 3 for 3 on his heat race wins on the day. Already picked up a pair of heat racing victories. Trying to rule the day here in the heavy classes. Heavy 160, our 11th heat race of the day, and we have a battle brewing for the lead. Marcus Leonetti has it. Adrian Imperial wants it. Imperial thought about taking it to the high side, but he knows the low line has the speed. Nose to tail, lap after lap, neither driver giving up an inch from their preferred racing line. Throw a blanket over the top two as Imperial down to the inside, taking over the lead. Adrian Imperial out of Arizona, your new leader. Marcus Leonetti back to second. Kylie Glick running third. Johnny Bolanos rounding out the field. Everybody chasing car number 3 as the white flag comes out one more time around. Adrian Imperial, your leader, through 3 out of 4. Caution? Nope. As car number 4, Kylie Glick, over in turn number 2. Backs it into the safer barrier on the exit of turn number 2. Adrian Imperial, Marcus Leonetti, Johnny Bolanos, and Kylie Glick. A one-lap shootout to determine the winner here in our heavy 160 heat race. Can Adrian Imperial hold on to the lead? Does Marcus Leonetti have anything left in the tank? How about Johnny Bolanos sitting in third? And maybe Kylie Glick up from 4th. One lap to determine it. Green and white together, and then comes checkered. Adrian Imperial setting the pace. Bill getting the 1-to-go signal this time by Adrian Imperial, Marcus Leonetti, Johnny Bolanos, Kylie Glick. Green flag waves, white flag in the air. One more time around. Leonetti not quite there as it's going to be Adrian Imperial picking up the heat race win. Heat race win going to car number 3 of Adrian Imperial. Up next will be Light World Formula. Light World Formula up next. Light World Formula heat race number 12 of the day. So in your heavy 160 finish, official result is car number 3, Adrian Imperial, your winner. Car number 1, Marcus Leonetti finishing second. Car number 5, Johnny Bolanos finishing third. And the 4 car of Kylie Glick rounding out the field. Up next will be our Light World Formula heat race. Light World Formula 12th heat race of the day. On the pole, he just won a heat race. He's starting on the pole of this one. Out of Arizona, it's Adrian Imperial. Starting second in car number 2 out of California, Johnny Bolanos. Johnny Bolanos going back-to-back in races. Starting third in car number 3 out of Colorado, TJ Stark. TJ Stark in car number 3. And rounding out the field in the Light World Formula will be car number 4 out of Washington, Jackson Burnett. Jackson Burnett. So we're looking for Adrian Imperial, Johnny Bolanos, TJ Stark, and Jackson Burnett. We have Arizona, California, Colorado, and Washington all represented in this next heat race. A little bit more about the Light World Formula class. This is a Briggs & Stratton World Formula engine. So a Briggs & Stratton World Formula engine for the Light World Formula class. A little bit of delay here on the racing action out here on the track. A couple of drivers doing, well, a lot of drivers doing multiple duties this weekend, but we have a couple of drivers who just ran the heavy 160 class heat race that now have to climb in a Light World Formula class. So waiting for Adrian Imperial and Johnny Bolanos to call out of one car and crawl into another. Also in this next heat race will be TJ Stark and Jackson Burnett. As we got a little bit of break in the action, I've caught up with Corbin for a little bit. Corbin, what's it like to come back to an event like this as a spectator? You're used to racing year in and year out. Like, what's the biggest difference between, you know, obviously driving and watching?
It's a bit different. I think great to see some old ones, and it's been exciting this event, and I can't wait for more.
And of all the classes that are out here this weekend, which one was always your personal favorite? Which one was the one that you look forward to the most?
My most favorite was the World Formula. It was really fast, and it just took not momentum, but just skill, I feel like, about lifting and where to pick up the throttle and all that.
And is that the class that you kind of took the most of as you progressed into the micro division and then hopefully this next year into the midgets and everything?
Yeah, and Modern World.
Why is that? Is it just the difference in the way the car reacts, the difference in the amount of pickup off the throttle? Because I know they were talking a little bit ago, there's some classes where you can just flat foot it the whole time.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of those momentum classes. I like to have a little bit of throttle left and like kind of just really racy. I just like really racy stuff and act really loose with those cars.
And as you've progressed through the sports, you came from the quarter midget ranks, and you've had an amazing year last year in your first season with the micros, kind of progressing, hitting the big money shows next year, hopefully getting into a midget. What's the end result? Like, what's the goal that you want to achieve behind the wheel?
This season, I just want to have fun and be competitive. That's all I want to do, and just hopefully maybe like win a really big race. We'll see.
What about lifetime goals? 410, wing, non-wing, what are you looking for? NASCAR maybe? In Indy, IRL, what do you want?
I'd be fine with NASCAR, but my total achievement or my goal is to be in the USAC racing as high as I can.
Understandable. Got quite the competition out there. And as I'm looking over into the staging area, I think we got just a little bit more time. Tell me about some of your sponsors that make this possible, because I know it's never just a one-man team. There's always a lot of people behind the scenes and a lot of people helping you progress through the sport.
Yeah, my sponsors have been a big support to me. Overhead Garage Doors, Decon 7, MB2 Motorsports, Trophy Ridge Interiors. They've been all a great help to me, and my handlers and crew chiefs and my family have been supporting me.
Now, my final question, and it kind of goes into something I talked to your dad a little bit about. Whenever you're preparing for a race, is there anything that you can kind of give these kids for advice, guidance, things like that? What's your biggest tip that you could give all of these young drivers?
Well, even like today, I still do. I still study the drivers, what they do the most, even in tournaments, I still do that. Me and my dad would always go once before the race, and once we be there, we'd always study the drivers, what they would do, what's their most run line and all that. I feel like that's what most drivers don't have, but they could progress it and it'd help them a lot.
So basically you're saying it takes a lot more than just showing up at the track, getting the car out and going. Like, you have to actually study this sport.
Yes, indeed.
Great insight from a future great driver. Well, I should say now a great driver. Corbin Ruschenberg, our Grand Marshal for the Cactus Cup Nationals here, presented by POWRi. As it looks like we're going to have cars out onto the racing surface. We're getting ready to take our Light World Formula Heat Race, number 12 of the day, Green Flag Racing. Good job, Corbin. So again, Adrian Imperial in the 1, Johnny Bolanos in the 2, TJ Stark in the 3, Jackson Burnett in the 4. So we have Arizona, California, Colorado, and Washington all represented here in the Light World Formula Heat Race number 12 of the day. Adrian Imperial out of Arizona, Johnny Bolanos out of California, TJ Stark out of Colorado, and Jackson Burnett out of Washington. Looking for the green. This time by? Nope, not quite gonna happen. Green flag waves. Great start by Adrian Imperial out of Arizona. Imperial, your early leader. Up to second comes TJ Stark in car number 3. Stark going to look to the inside in turn number 3 and 4. Not quite there. Up to third comes car number 4, Jackson Burnett. Burnett now up to third is car number 2. Johnny Bolanos is going to go back to fourth. Everybody still chasing car number 1. Adrian Imperial. Imperial, your leader. Problems on the outside for TJ Stark, getting shuffled around. Stark going to cross back over. He's back to the runner-up position. That's Jackson Burnett now going to get pinned to the high side. Johnny Bolanos going to take the spot away. Moving up to third, Bolanos. As back to fourth goes Jackson Burnett. Your leader, still the one. Adrian Imperial with TJ Stark in second. Battle now, third and fourth as contact on the exit of two. Entering 3 and 4, Jackson Burnett, TJ Stark battling fiercely for third and fourth. Meanwhile, up front, it's still Adrian Imperial, your leader. TJ Stark trying to run him down as the laps keep ticking away. Nothing quite in as problems, it appears, for car number 3 of TJ Stark. Stark underpowered as he's going off the racing surface. New second place competitor Jackson Burnett as the 2 of Johnny Bolanos. As yellow flag conditions come out onto the racing surface, I believe we have debris over in turn number 3. Hey, Brock, right in the middle of the track. Look to your left, Bill. So it's Adrian Imperial, Jackson Burnett, Johnny Bolanos. Looking for the green. It's waving. Exit of 4. We're racing into turns 1 and 2. A contact. Caution coming back out onto the racetrack. Able to get the car number 1 of Adrian Imperial refired. Unfortunate break for that car number 3 of TJ Stark as he pulls off the racing surface. As we're getting the 1 to go signal this time by Jackson Burnett, Johnny Bolanos, Adrian Imperial, green flag waves, good start. Car number 4, Jackson Burnett. As man on the move, Adrian Imperial up to the runner-up position. A very move in turns number 1 and 2 to take that spot away. As, a little bit too hot and heavy into turns number 1 and 2 for our race leader, car number 4 of Jackson Burnett. Burnett going to try to get that car refired. He does tag it to the rear of the field. It appears Imperial back to the lead in car number 1. Looking for the green flag coming off turn number 4, this time by. Green is waving. We are back racing. Adrian Imperial, your leader. Johnny Bolanos sitting second. Jackson Burnett back to third. Checkered flag waves. It's Adrian Imperial, your heat race winner. Heat race number 12 for the Light World Formula goes to car number 1, Adrian Imperial. Second place belongs to car number 2 of Johnny Bolanos. Third place to car number 4 of Jackson Burnett. And rounding out the field, car number 3 of TJ Stark. Heavy World Formula Up next in heat race number 13 on the day, heat race number 13 for the Heavy World Formula. Looking for 3 drivers to make the call. In car number 1, Talon Morris. Car number 2, Evan McFarland. And car number 3, Kylie Glick. A little bit more about the Heavy World Formula. Again, this is Briggs & Stratton World Formula Racing Engine. Briggs & Stratton World Formula Racing Engine. And with the slight break in the action here at beautiful Phoenix Raceway, again, like to thank all you race fans for tuning in here on the POWRi YouTube channel. Don't forget, we'll be back again tomorrow with all of the features here from the inaugural Cactus Cup with the POWRi Quarter Midget Racing Association. So again, looking for the Heavy World Formula. Car number 1, Talon Moore. Car number 2, Evan McFarland. And the 3 of Kylie Glick. Standing here with Scott Ruschenberg. Scott, you've came through these ranks. Your son is the Grand Marshal of the event. It's got to feel pretty good. We were just kind of talking about what it takes to be a parent in quarter midget racing, because it takes a lot of courage and a lot of guts and everything for your kid to go out here and race. One of the things, my biggest question that I have is, how do you know as a parent when your child is ready to move up through the ranks? Is it something that you talk about? Is it something that you just notice? Like, what's the biggest thing that you kind of take into it and notice?
I think a couple things. One is, as a family, you guys hear me okay on that? Yeah. As the family approaches it, they're rolling out. So we'll talk about this after the little guys.
We'll catch up here in just a little bit as the Heavy World Formula coming out onto the racetrack. It's Talon Morris in the 1, Evan McFarland in the 2, Kylie Glick in the 3.
I'll tell you what I've been enjoying the last 2 years: more lacrosse and less racing.
Let me tell you, Mike Atkins.
I didn't know he'd ever be a physical kid. I love boxing. Plus, I go there and drink. All the arenas and tournaments you go to, they have alcohol at. It's like the best. I don't have to work on shit.
And he gets it going. Car number 1, Talon Morris, able to get fired. And that really did take a team effort. Car number 1, Talon Morris, able to get fired. Car number 2, Evan McFarland, and the 3 of Kylie Glick, all out here on the racing surface. Getting the one to go signal, this time by Heavy World Formula, our 13th heat race of the day. Talon Morris, car number 1, Evan McFarland, car number 2, Kylie Glick, and car number 3, green flag waves. We are underway. Great start by Talon Morris, out to the early advantage, but Evan McFarland is there. Contact on the exit of 4. Car number 2, Evan McFarland, able to take the car to the rear of the field. As we should be set to go back, green flag racing gone off turn number 4. Talon Morris, Kylie Glick, Evan McFarland. Green waves, another great start by Talon Morris. Morris out to the early advantage, battle now for second and third. That's between Evan McFarland and car number 2 and the 3 of Kylie Glick. Glick has the position. McFarland trying to run him down. As they're doing battle, car number 1, Talon Morris, out to the early advantage. It's Morris out front. He's got about a half a straightaway advantage over car number 3 of Kylie Glick. Glick having their hands full with car number 2 of Evan McFarland. McFarland laying in way, looking to the inside, not quite there. Exit of 2. Going into turns number 3 and 4, they're single file. It looks like McFarland able to get through 1 and 2 a little bit better, but Glick able to get through 3 and 4 better, so they stay in the positions with out front. Car number 1, Talon Morris, your leader. Glick running second, McFarland in third, laps ticking away. Oh, car number 1, Talon Morris, gonna miss turns number 1 and 2 entry. That causes them to go wide on the exit of 2. That's gonna open up the door for car number 3, Kylie Glick, to cut into the lead as around goes Talon Morris. Our leader looping it over in turn number 1 and 2. So that's going to change a few things, as now it will be 3-2-1. Car number 3, Kylie Glick, your leader. The 2, Evan McFarland, sitting second. And car number 1, Talon Morris, rounding out the field. Getting the one to go signal this time by Green will be waving exit of 4. As up to the high side goes Kylie Glick. That opens up the door. Evan McFarland, Talon Morris down to the inside. Morris going to take back over the lead. Exit of turn number 4. Talon Morris, your leader. Evan McFarland back to second. As getting shuffled through the mix. The 3 of Kylie Glick going to go back to third. Talon Morris, a great recovery as the laps keep ticking. It's Morris, McFarland, and Glick, your running order. Two more times around with our leader. Talon Morris has the lead. Evan McFarland trying to run him down. White flag waves one more time around. Entering into turns number 1 and 2. Now down into 3 and 4. Off of 4. Heat race winner. Car number 1 of Talon Morris. Second place belongs to the 2, Evan McFarland, and round the field, car number 3, Kylie Glick. Go over here and check with scoring, making sure that it's the official. I'm getting the thumbs up. It's 1, 2, 3. Talon Morris, Evan McFarland, Kylie Glick. Up next will be the Mod World Formula. Mod World Formula Heat Race, number 14 of the day. Mod World Formula is just like the World Formula, except it runs on methanol. And that we'll see. Car number 1, David Anderson out of California. Nope, that's not right. I got to read the right lineup. It always helps. Heat race number 14. Car number 1, Adrian Imperial. Car number 2, TJ Stark. And Scott, we were talking a little bit ago about the mental preparation that it takes to have a race team and everything. More specifically, the mental preparation it takes to be a parent in quarter midget racing, and what it takes to know when your kid is ready to move up to that next step.
Yeah, I think like what I was saying, once you kind of get a unity in the house with Mama, at least it was for us, to where she was accepting what I wanted from him from all the time we'd spend at these events. And he started going to the fence and watching other drivers that were either older or more experienced, and started seeking that understanding of what it's going to take to be effective, and quit playing behind the grandstands and running around and horsing around and things like that. We knew that it was time to start traveling and really making it a point, more practices, more time, more racing, and that's what when we noticed that, it started changing Corbin's stars.
So whenever they start taking it more serious, you start to have those conversations. The Mod World Formula out on the track for their heat racing action. Car number 1, Imperial, and the 2 of TJ Stark. 20 laps the distance. Here in the 14th heat race of the day. Getting the one to go signal this time by Imperial on the inside, Stark on the high side. Green flag is waving. Great start by car number 1, Adrian Imperial, out to the advantage with Stark. Gonna look to the inside, not quite there. Single file it out, nose to tail. Adrian Imperial, your leader, TJ Stark, trying to run him down. A little bit wide there on the exit of turn number 2. TJ Stark spread it out a little bit as our leader, Adrian Imperial. Imperial making sure he just keeps on hitting his marks. He's out front showing the way. TJ Stark trying to run him down, going through the paces. Oh, taking it wide to the 2. Again, costing him just a little bit of ground between him and the leader. Imperial lifting that left front in the air as the laps are winding down. Heat race number 14 for the Mod World Formula. As my sinuses are clear, I can smell the methanol. Feathering it through the corner. Car number 1, Adrian Imperial. About a half a lap advantage now over car number 2 of TJ Stark. I don't think Imperial has lifted from that line this entire race. It's mid to low line on the exit, mid to low line, as 2 more times around for car number 1, Adrian Imperial. White flag in the air. 2 out of 4. Heat race winner, car number 1 of Adrian Imperial. Second place, car number 2 of TJ Stark. As the Mod World Formula heat race draws to a conclusion, it was car number 1, Adrian Imperial, your winner, TJ Stark, and car number 2 finishing second. Up next will be heat race number 2 for the Red Novice. Red Novice heat race number 2. Back down to 10 laps the distance. 10 laps the distance here in Red Novice heat race number 2, our 15th heat race of the day. Are you going Blue Novice or Red Novice first? You're going Blue Novice? You're going Red Novice? Okay, we are going Red Novice first. Red Novice first in heat race number 15. It's car number 1, Easton Wright. Car number 2, Logan Kleinman. The 3, Jackson O'Brien. The 4, Logan Finn. 5, Mackenzie Parker. 6, Millie DeVault. 7, Sophia Esquivel. 10 laps the distance. 10 laps the distance here in Red Novice heat race number 2. If these cars do look familiar to those tuning in on the POWRi YouTube channel, we raced them earlier. It is our first class out of training, smallest class, the restrictor plated, and usually ages 5 to 8 years old. How we're doing this is a complete invert from the earlier one. So again, Easton Wright, Logan Kleinman, Jackson O'Brien, Logan Finn, Mackenzie Parker, Millie DeVault, Sophia Esquivel. Trying to get these guys lined up. As it takes a little while to get these guys lined up. Again, ages are young in this one. This is our first class, our beginning class. Training, smallest restrictor plated, usually drivers ages 5 to 8 years old. As it appears we've got the first 2 rows lined up. We were so close. There we go. Pretty smart thinking there by Easton. As we're getting closer, everybody now in order. Getting the 1-0 signal this time by Easton, Logan, Jackson, another Logan, McKenzie, Millie, and Sophia. Ready to go green out of turn number 4. Green flag waves, red novice heat race number 2 underway. We get through turns number 1 and 2. It's Easton Wright out with the early advantage. Logan Kleinman sitting second, up to third. Mackenzie Parker. Sophia coming through the mix as well. She's up to 4th, 5th. Up front, all by himself, Easton Wright. Oh, around goes car number 7 of Sophia. So it's going to be the 1, Easton Wright. I believe the 2, Logan Kleinman. Have to check with scoring over here. Trying to get car number 3 up a position. Jackson gonna fall in suit. So it's gonna go to the 1, Easton Wright. 2, Logan Kleinman. The 5, Mackenzie Parker. 7, I believe, of Sophia, followed by the 6 of Millie. 3 of Jackson. And the 4 of Logan Finn. I believe that's how scoring has it over there. Ooh, not a whole lot of slowing down. Getting everybody in position out here. Red Novice Heat Race number 2, our 15 heat race of the day here at the inaugural Cactus Cup Nationals for the POWRi Quarter Midget League. Oh. Getting the 6th in front of the 4. 6 in front of the 4. And now we need the 3 in front of the 4. 3 in front of the 4. Three in front of the 4. Come on, Brock, run some more. And the 3 goes in front of the 4. Getting the one to go signal this time by Red Novice, heat race number 2. Easton Wright, your leader. Logan Kleinman sitting in second. And Mackenzie Parker laying in wait in third. Green flag waves. Great start down the front straightaway. Easton Wright. Here comes Mackenzie Parker. Parker now up to second. And where did Sophia come from? All the way up to third. Back to fourth goes the 2, Logan Kleinman. Followed by the 6 of Millie DeVault. The 3, Jackson O'Brien. And the 4 of Logan Fenn. Everybody chasing Easton Wright. Mackenzie Parker sitting second. Sophia rounding out the podium. 2 more turns around. Red Novice heat race number 2. Easton with the white flag waves. One more time around. Sophia looking to the inside. Down the back straightaway into turns number 3 and 4. Contact! Caution, waving on the racetrack. Car number 4, Logan Fenn. Problems over in turn number 2. Cars coming to a stop in turns number 4, as well as down the front straightaway. Check with scoring to see how all this shakes out. So how they're going to line up. Car number 1, Easton Wright out front. Followed by car number 5, Mackenzie Parker. The 2 of Logan Kleinman. The 3, Jackson O'Brien. The 7 of Sophia Esquivel. The 4, Logan Fenn. And the 6 of Millie DeVault rounding out the field. Back under yellow flag conditions, a little bit of break in the action to get these guys lined up exactly where they need to be. The 1, Easton Wright. The 5, Mackenzie Parker. 2 of Logan Kleinman. The 4, Logan Finn. 3, Jackson O'Brien. The 7 of Sophia Esquivel. And the 6 of Millie DeVault. Nope. Trying to get a little bit of gap in between first and second, so that car number 5 of Mackenzie Parker can get in the mix.
Thank you.
I do know one thing, our Judge Brock is going to want to be back on the broadcast side of things. He's getting his exercise in today. You love to see it. Formerly the cameraman who ran is now the judge who ran. As we're starting to get everybody back in line, getting the one to go signal this time by. Great job by these young drivers out there. Give them space. Easton, Mackenzie, Logan, green flag waves, white flag in the air as well. One more time around, Easton making a break for it. 3-3 out of 4, heat race winner. It is Easton Wright. I'm going to check with scoring on the official results for this one. It is car number 1, Easton Wright, your winner. Car number 5, Mackenzie Parker, second. The 2 of Logan Kleinman finishing third. Car number 4, Logan Finn in the 4th spot. 3, Jackson O'Brien finishing 5th. Car number 7 of Sophia Esquivel finishing 6th. And car number 6 of Millie DeVault rounding out the field. And then there was one race, fans, the final heat race of the day. Heat race number 16, the Blue Novice heat race number 2. Heat race number 2, the Blue Novice. We are looking for car number 1, Jameson Leiden. The 2, Brandon Glick. The 3, Byron Borneman. How did you pronounce that name? Prevost, Prenovo. And car number 4 of Brady Prenovo. I had to double check the pronunciation on that one.
I would just cross out the ST. Yeah.
Prenovo. Got it. I'll probably forget.
I'll help you. Oh, and Sophia? Sophia Esquivel.
Esquivel. Okay. I've been messing it up all day.
They're just in our club, so help me.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
10 laps the distance here in our 16th and final heat race of the day. And don't forget, race fans, back at it again tomorrow for feature action. And if you can't make it out to the racetrack, don't forget POWRi YouTube page, and we'll cover it all live and free of charge. You can thank Jimmy for paying that bill. Push, push, let's go racing. Blue Novice heat race number 2, the 16th and final heat race of the day for the inaugural Cactus Cups National, presented by POWRi Quarter Midget. Liga. Jameson Leiden, Brandon Glick, Byron Borneman, Brady Prenovo. 10 laps the distance. Keep them calm. 1 to go. Oh! Not quite the way we wanted that one to go. One to go signal, this time by Jamison, Brandon, Byron, and Brady. In the blue novice heat race number 2. 16th and final heat race, going green. A little bit more about the blue novice. It's a second class out of training. It's got a little bit bigger of a restrictor as around goes car number 4. Putting it through the spin cycle. Keeps it going. Caution on the racetrack. Car number 4, Brady Preniveau. A little bit of problems out of turn 4. Gathers it up, tags it to the rear of the field. Everybody gonna be chasing car number 1, Jamison Leiden. 2, Brandon Glick. Those drivers up front, Byron Borneman, are right there in the mix. Caution waving. One to go signal, this time by Brandon Glick. Setting the pace. Jamison Leiden sitting second. Byron Borneman. Brady Preniveau. Caution flag waves. Till these drivers get back in order. Did not like that start. Car number 1, Jamison Leiden, going to get up there behind car number 2 of Brandon Glick, followed by the 3 of Byron Borneman and the 4 of Brady Preniveau. Back in order. Good job listening by these kids out here. Bill, our air traffic controller over in the flag stand, going to be given the 1 to go signal, this time by Brandon Glick setting the pace. Jamison Leiden laying in wait. The 3, Byron Borneman and Brady Preniveau, your field. A little bit too anxious and excited to go on that one. Coming to green, drivers being told stay in line, stay in line. Green flag waves. Good start by Leiden out there with the lead. Up to second, Byron Borneman. Following back to third, Jamison Leiden, and he's got company. Here comes Brady Prenovo up to the number 3 spot. Stretching out a commanding lead. Brandon Glick setting the pace. Byron Morneman trying to run him down, but Morneman's got company. Brady Prenovo throwing his name in the mix. Rounding out the field, Jamison Leiden keeping pace. Everybody hitting their marks. We could have a battle shaping up for the lead. 3 cars after it. 2 more times around. Brandon Glick, your leader. White flag waves. Here comes car number 3, Byron Borneman. Down the back straightaway into 3. Borneman going for broke down, and it is checkered flag waving for car number 2 of Brandon Glick. Second place will go to the 3 of Byron Borneman, followed by car number 4 of Brady Prenovo, and rounding out the field, car number 1 of Jamison Leiden. And race fans, that's going to wrap up heat race competition for the inaugural Cactus Cup, presented by POWRi Quarter Midget League. I want to thank each and every one of you for either coming out here to the racetrack at beautiful Phoenix Raceway or tuning in on our YouTube channel. And don't forget, we'll be back at it again tomorrow with the feature events from the inaugural Cactus Cup. Until next time, race fans, thank you, good night, take care. Calling Brock. Brock, can you run over here? Run, like you did earlier.